You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of laughter, heated debates and conversation, but of friendship and funk. Tonight's destination, a place somewhere between memory and the archives, where time takes a coffee break and old stories breathe again. This is a special edition of Motherfunkler. The Funklers are off this week, recharging their spirits and plotting their return. But tonight we unlock the vault to bring you an unreleased episode from the archives, preserved, polished, and ready to live again.
Buckle up. Each week we drive headfirst into bizarre stories, crazy concepts, and personal adventures. Please hit like and subscribe, leave a review. Comments and questions are greatly appreciated. I am downtown Trevor Brown, your navigator through this chaos. And with me today is PR and Nick. PR is the owner of the local Winter Park All-State Agency. PR, what's going on today, man?
Hey, Trevor, had a great week, another great week, and today was a fantastic day. It's a holiday weekend, so team was off early. Really good vibe in the office, and everybody loves a weekend off, right? So, looking forward to it.
Yes. Hey, Nick.
Yo.
What you got, man? What's your story?
Well, I'm got a nice simmering 2 on the 10 scale of a hangover from last night, so always a good Friday to simmer in.
We rocked hard.
We did. That was a committee meeting. I'm sure we will discuss at some point the ups and downs of, but any Friday where the hangover is not quite a 4 is a good Friday for me. So that was a great day. Got a lot done. Got a massage. I have a boozy coffee in front of me. I'm ready to party. Let's rage.
That sounds great. Let's go, baby. So today the topic is happiness. We want to discuss our different unique perspectives on happiness, and I'm going to lead off with PR describing what is your definition of happiness.
So, I think that the view of many people is that happiness is about people walking around with a smile on their face. And my sense is that, that isn't really, in my opinion, what makes one happy. I think that it is really about whether you are feeling valued and whether you are feeling respected. You don't have to walk around all day with a smile on your face to be considered happy. But if you believe that whatever you are doing is considered valuable and that people respect you for what you do, I think in a way you would exude happiness. And so, that in a nutshell for me is how I would consider to be whether one is happy. Are you respected and are you feeling valued?
Nick, what do you think happiness is?
I think happiness is the omission of pain or pain mitigation. So what, to me, happiness is eliminating the terribleness, and what you have left over is quote unquote happiness, I would say. I think it's a construct. I think it's a dangerous construct at times for people. But if you're asking me like what my personal idea of happiness is, it's to have the terrible aspects of daily living mitigated to the point where I can focus and enjoy the time that I have.
That sounds fantastic.
How's that strike you?
When are we going to argue?
What about you, sir?
Yeah, thank you.
We had those are polar opposite viewpoints, in my opinion. We'll have plenty to discuss. What about you?
Yeah. I have studied my own happiness, and it is, it's intermittent, man. It's the like what we've talked about previously, the 80-20%. Happiness could be pain. It could be pleasure. You can re-perspectivize. You can reimagine what a happiness moment is. So let me jump. I've been contemplating lately. Maybe I'm potentially unhappy because I have not had children.
Oh, all right.
I am discovering, like, with my partner, should we have kids, and is that something that's missing from my life, and is that a happiness, percentage that I'm not fulfilling. I like to party.
True.
I like to party with you, and I also at this juncture, which we should have said right up front, Ed the Wizard is here, listening to our happiness conversation.
Imagine him as a vague presence floating through the room.
The super producer. So yeah, Ed is with us, but back to the topic at hand. I've called my father and I've asked him questions. Like, are you happy with me? Are you happy that you had kids? And am I missing something in my life that would contribute to more happiness? Because I believe that we are here to reproduce. So, like, if you look at the entirety of our globe, everything is here to make like a seed or offspring reproduce. Other than water, shelter, food, the next thing is kids. And is there a possibility that I'm missing out on some happiness because I'm not reproducing?
Oh. So let me give you an opinion before we go into something that I know a little bit about. I'll talk about something that I know almost nothing about, which is happiness when it comes to sports people, right? And I don't want to appear to be agreeing with anything that Nick says, but let me suggest that I do agree with the pain part of it, because a sports person that is really good at what they do, right? They love what they do, and they are infinitely happy in the overall appreciation of what they're doing. However, in order for them to experience joy, it does require them to put in an inordinate amount of effort, which requires them to endure significant pain, commitment, inconvenience, discipline, not eating, not having drinks, not being out with friends. There's a massive commitment in order for them to enjoy those moments, and overall, because they feel respected in what they do, and because they feel valued in what they do, despite the pain that they need to go through, they experience happiness in a way that very few of us do. And in my sense, that's the way I view my each day. So I love what I do, and as a result of that, there's certain things during the day that I have to do that are mundane, for example, like getting in the car and driving 45 minutes, right? Am I having a happy moment at that time? No. But it is a necessary in order for me to have the full experience of the day. And at the end of the day, I can tick and say, that has been a happy day. Some days are not necessarily happy because you haven't achieved anything, right? But overall, it's still happy, right? It's you feel respected and you feel like you're adding value. So that to me is kind of the reason why I'm using it, is because it's not, I know that we enjoy sport, and we do have kind of a theoretical view on what excellence in that discipline is. So we do know, we watch our sports people, we know that they're having fun and they're high-fiving and they're doing all that, but it does require incredible commitment and discipline. So I want to put that as a marker for happiness.
What do you think, Nick?
Well, I mean, you guys brought up separate points. First, when talking about the your experience of what you're going through now with the idea of should I have children? Should I have children? Is this something? To me, the answer has always been pretty clear. My moment of clarity came when I was with an ex-girlfriend and she really wanted to get a dog. And I was like, I really don't want to get a dog. But of course I folded and we got a dog. And then now I love this dog. And the dog was an incredible pain in the ass all the time. And if I took an objective look, but now I have to take care of this dog because this dog's in my life and I love this dog and now it's here. If I were to take an objective step back, I'd be like, it's not worth it having this dog. But now the dog's here. That moment of clarity came to me that's how it would be with a child. I'd be like, okay, I have the kid now. I'm not a piece of shit, so I'm going to take care of the kid. Objectively, would my life, the very small amount of healthy years I have to exist, would it be better with a child? I think for me personally, the answer is a resounding no.
Okay.
Now, to respond to you, it intertwines into that. It depends on who you are and your personality, what makes you happy. And the children would not for me, obviously. Neither would hardcore sports. I played baseball all the way through college, and I just wasn't that good at it. I no matter how hard I worked, and because I wasn't that good at it, it wasn't that enjoyable to me. So that's not something that I focused on. It brings up to me a pretty cool thought experiment. If you guys want to go down a rabbit hole,
rabbit hole all the way.
So let me ask you this: PR said you love what you do.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you love what you do, Trevor?
Yes,
love
I do.
It.
I
Yes?
do.
Okay.
Yes.
So let me ask you this. Let's say theoretically AI gets out of control and in 2 years there's literally no reason for us to work. It can all be done. And the easiest thought experiment to think of this is like the Mr. Fusion from Back to the Future. So you have a machine that you just dump your garbage into and it deconstructs the molecules and makes whatever you want. So literally, you don't need money. Like, you just use your garbage, and it becomes whatever it is that you want in life.
Okay.
Meanwhile, robots are cutting hair. Robots are selling insurance, which wouldn't even be necessary if robots are really that extended. But what would you do then? What would be your day? Like, what would you do to find fulfillment? What would you do to try and justify your existence? Like, what would you do?
Do you have PR? Do you have an answer for this, or?
Yeah, I think when it comes to the work that I do, it is really for me having a relationship with clients. Clients don't necessarily, and without wanting to be disrespectful, they don't know always what they require. And so when you develop a relationship with your client, you unearth the things that they require to best mitigate their risk. And what I think is something that I enjoy is having relationships with my clients. I think I'm a good listener. And as a result of me engaging with them in a sincere, respectful way, they talk about their life, their business, their things in their world, and as a result of that, I'm able to provide them with suggestions on solutions. And I think that is unusual, I believe, in my industry. But, if it's simply just execution only, so you know what you want, Nick, and you come to my office and you say, this is what I want. Yeah, but I would think that in reality, that is a commodity, which should be made as easy, simple, inexpensive for you, right? But if the service that I offer, which is having an office in Winter Park, where you can come in, where you can phone, where you can engage with somebody, in reality, it's not automated. And as long as we are continuing to find ways of offering a real value-added service, and we do live in an age of commoditization, right? So we are competing with just a system of enhanced value. Commoditization is that in itself. It is always whatever service you offer, it becomes commoditized, meaning that it becomes cheaper to be able to be done in a way that is that's taking away the kind of experience. And what we are doing in our office is making sure that you enjoy an experience.
I didn't mean to make it an Allstate by PR commercial.
No. I'm just saying, but that could happen with a haircut.
That's what that was. That had the theoretical question was, what if insurance stopped and you found yourself without the ability to do that? What would you do?
Yeah, I think that with any industry, right? If you go into the barbershop, for example, take it away from mine, right? The reality is that the cutting of the hair you could get anywhere, right? But when you walk in, and the experience that you have is what you go for, right? You walk out, yes, with a haircut, but you do walk out feeling better about yourself. And if it was just a robot that did it, or, I would think,
but you're quoting the movie Waiting, and which is somebody can get a cheeseburger or it's actually Office Space. Somebody can get a cheeseburger anywhere they want. They come to Tchotchkes for the attitude. And what's the difference between extraordinary and ordinary? It's that little extra.
But that's what
and to be honest, I don't go there to get. It is cool and I enjoy it. I go there because Jordan is an artist and my hair is difficult to cut.
Yeah, but if you think about all the things that we do in the day, right? We are looking for unique experiences in everything we do, right?
Agreed.
Unique personalities, and we search for that, right? And sometimes a personality you want on a certain day, depending on your mood, another day that doesn't work for you, right? So I would say that that's where I think the individual touch, and it requires us to really think hard and deep about what is it that we actually want to do. And if you do it sincerely and you're really good at it, then I think that the artificial intelligence is there to take away the stuff that Nick doesn't like to do. So if you look at Nick's day, for example, when he expresses himself, 80% of the stuff...
He's not following the thought experiment that I had. I'm not making an argument as to why AI is going to. I don't know anything about AI. I know it exists.
Yeah.
I was just saying, theoretically, forget about the argument as to whether or not it will take it away. I'm asking you what you would do to generate happiness if there was no insurance to sell.
So in a way, let me say that in your day, for example, if you had somebody to feed you, if you had a car to drive you to where you need to be, right? And if you had people to answer your phone, the AI does all of that, right? And the only thing you ended up doing was standing up on stage and presenting trivia, the thing that you love in the day, right? The thing that makes you happiest. Right?
Okay.
And all the other noise in your day was taken away. That would be an amazing day for you. And that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's creating, it's the ability to take away the noise from all the stuff that we do in the day that's noise. So it's saying, can we make our lives more efficient? And there's a lot of things that I do in my day that could be done without me being involved. Like, for example, people phoning me in the day and saying, can you process my payment? Right? That is the most inefficient use of my time.
Not for a criminal defense attorney. When they call to pay, you're happy to take the payment because you may not get paid otherwise.
I imagine happiness or this exploration, AI would not exist. We would be in some sort of like archaic state. I imagine theater like Roman amphitheater, no, not necessarily lawyers or insurance. And often I imagine driving my car into the woods and disappearing. I would miss human interaction, but I'm on the cusp of being over the things that we've created. So I watched Joe versus the Volcano the other night again. Away from the things of man. That's what I really imagine happiness to be, where we could celebrate. We could I don't know, kill some fucking food, have a party, grow our own crops. Really, in all, this is textbook anarchy.
I mean, that
I mean, that sounds miserable.
Yeah, that would be miserable to me.
Because you can't, if you go out there. So away from the things of man means away from the things that modern society has done to mitigate pain.
Yeah,
it means we're away from antibiotics. We're away from the nasal spray that I have to use every day so that I'm not sneezing 700 times.
I don't think we need, if we were away from the things of man, I don't think we'd need the which I do. I do nasal spray, but if we were embedded in nature,
if you're around other filthy, disgusting human beings, you have to have medicine.
That's why I want to go away from.
It's just you. It's just Trevor with a loincloth and a spear.
Yes,
gotcha.
So I would say that the best time to be born ever would be now. The life that we are leading right now, with the connectivity that we have, with the ability to communicate, travel, eat to your heart's desire, anything you want, information at your fingertips. You don't need to think about anything. The best healthcare in the world, it is the best time to be alive. However,
1967 was the best year to be born.
And that was my
20 in 87, 30 in 97, 40 in 2007, 50 by 2017, and then when everything has fallen apart over the last 4 years, you're just kind of old enough that you don't care anymore.
So what's the reference to these numbers?
No,
that's personal philosophy
of
mine.
Okay.
I'm just going off. I disagree that it's the best time to be alive.
Okay.
So I think the statistic is really, in terms of our ability to pick up disease and understand it and solve issues, and our ability to communicate and understand issues. I think the reason why we think there's a heightened sense of uneasiness or unhappiness is because we are choosing to consume information that is going to antagonize us and make us unhappy.
I agree with I completely agree with the not trajectory, but like the speed of communication. In the days of yore, it took a while for news to travel from space to space, and now I can look up shit on my news feed,
like literal shit you could look up,
yes,
like actual fecal matter if
absolutely.
You wanted to.
But now I'm like, we know exactly what's going on around the world, and
I think that's why we don't have fads anymore. So think about this. In the 80s, like there is a distinct time period where clothes were a certain way in the 80s. And mostly it was kicked off by pop stars, which is usually what happened back then. So like you always envisioned girls dressed like Madonna. Dudes were walking around in red leather jackets like Michael Jackson, parachute pants, stuff like that. Then it slowly progressed into the 90s, which was anti that. It was grunge, it was flannel, it was boxy clothes, which then slowly transitioned to low-rise jeans, frosted tips of the 2000s. Now there's no fads and trends because everything is so fast for everybody to see it. It's just constantly reintegrated here or there. So, I mean, positive or negative, I don't know. But I think that that's a direct result of the speed with which information is transferred and therefore has a solid effect on culture.
I suppose I would ask then, were you happier in the 80s compared to now?
Well, I probably the same, but there are the problem is I would love to sit here and be like, yeah, it was great, because it was. I was driving a car when there was no cell phones. Like, I recall like what it was like to get lost in the middle of nowhere with no way to get, like, you have to figure it out.
I had a fucking dream about that last night.
Yeah, but the problem is, especially for three of us business owners, I couldn't. There's no way I could run the business that I do, being me and a couple other lawyers, without this phone. Like, it's just it has given me an opportunity that
getting all your information from a law report.
Well, I'm talking about the fact that I've sit in court for 3 hours in the morning, and if I'm not answering emails or taking phone calls from clients during that time, my business is not moving.
Yeah.
So this is something that has made it to where, for good or for bad, it's open 24 hours a day, because now you're also expected to be available 24 hours a day, especially if you want to succeed, if you want to offer something everybody else doesn't. I think the goal is to offer that until you get a big enough book of business to when you can afford to step back some. But
that's anti-happiness for me. Is like, I love shutting my phone down and going off the grid.
Dude, I agree with you. But being an attorney, like, the currency of being an attorney is mitigating human misery and pain. Like, that's what you do. Your currency is misery. Like, whether it be somebody charged with a crime, a victim of a crime, in an accident, their roof is blown off, like, whatever it is, the type of law that I do, your currency is pain and misery. And those people, if you want to excel over the other lawyers, you have to be offering the personal touch.
I do think that in what you've said, though, is that there are certain things that are commoditized, and there are certain things that you can make electronic. So, and that certain things that require Nick or Trevor to be involved. So we become smarter with technology, and so you are able to actually function 24/7 without you having to, stop having dinner and having a conversation with your client. So we are able to do a lot of things now with technology. And I think that in the AI world, there's going to be a greater efficiency. I think it's pretty unique, though, because we're speaking about something that is evolving as we speak, right? I think it can be used to our disadvantage, and I don't think we know it, what it can do to us. But at this time, I think that if we assume that it's well intended, that it could improve our efficiency. As a result of that, it could increase our value and the way our clients perceive us, and therefore happier.
I don't know if I agree with efficiency is equal to happiness.
I mean, out of the three of us, you are an artist. I am not an artist. I am not a creative. I'm a engineer of sorts, not an actual engineer at all, because I don't have that skill set either. I mean, if I was to fall into classification, it would be engineer, not creative. And PR seems like a creative guy to me, but you are an actual artist. Like, that's what you do, is art. So I could see that you would not agree with the efficiency argument, because you're going to just inherently derive more value from a creative aspect as opposed to a nuts and bolts, how is this done aspect.
Right.
Which is part of the reason, I think you're rad. So
thank you.
But I do think that you have embraced technology, because the experience that you're providing in so many instances is made so much more efficient because you've embraced technology. So if you think about your ability to see what's going on in your office, that is embracing technology. It's the ability to produce, music lists based on moods and time of day and all of those things, right? If you didn't embrace the technology, that would be just a nightmare for you to be able to produce.
It doesn't necessarily make me happy. I venture to say that I would prefer instead of me busting my ass to make a music playlist or to use technology to monitor a business, I would prefer that my happiness would be to go back to some sort of fire pit, drum circle. Everybody is equal, can beat their chest, can beat a drum, and that I know how to utilize technology, and I'm pretty fucking good at it, but that doesn't necessarily make me happy. I would prefer to. Wait.
What I was going to say, I'd prefer to go forward. I'd want to go forward to the point where we have nanorobots swimming around inside of us, just fixing everything that breaks immediately.
I think that's pretty.
So that you can
pretty
live
cool.
as long as you can, mitigating pain as much as you can. Like that's what I think the future is an attempt to increase the human experience by minimizing more and more pain that you need to. I mean, I do think a day in the not so distant future will be people who are like,
forever.
wow, doctors used to cut you open like with a knife and like cut things out of you. Like that's what you guys did back then. Like I think that day is not that far. The way we look at leeches or bloodletting, I think that it's going to be a day where they're like, so you actually, let me see your scar. I've never actually seen a scar before. Like that will be the future. I think, if we make it, but assuming we do, that's where I think it's got to go one or the other. It's got to go either we figure it out and we're prosperous, or we're just gone.
But I think in many ways we kind of there, right? So if you think about, medicine, you can do things now. You can operate with people without cutting. So in many ways we there. But if you think about something we do every day, which is so imperfect.
Your positivity is so hard-lined into you. You just can't. You can't even admit,
No,
dude,
but we there.
You said
We
we're
don't
there.
cut.
We are not there. My shoulder will tell you right now, we are not there. There, you are still cutting out your natural pieces and parts.
Yeah, no,
and that is
I get
barbaric.
that, but I'm saying that we're there in terms of the technology without the need to cut. So it's there, but not in every aspect. But to think about the extreme imperfect information and how awfully dangerous it is driving a car, right? At the moment, when we choose routes to drive on, we check on GPS and it tells us, this route's going to take you 25 minutes, that route's going to take you 15 minutes, and that route's going to take you 10 minutes, right? So we do that now. That is huge. From 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we would just drive blindly into a traffic jam, right? Now, that is still crazy. Because imagine if we could have perfect information. The perfect information would be that as the car is driving, it's telling us, what the wait time is live. I mean, for me, that would be the best form of information that I require. Get into a car, and everyone knows where every car is.
Yikes.
I hate the idea. I am sitting behind a car, and you know why I'm sitting behind the car? Because that guy is choosing to look at his cell phone.
I mean, that is the near future, and that it's not going away.
So we should actually have a car that the minute the traffic light turns green, the car just goes on. He can be looking at the phone, but here I am sitting behind him, not knowing that he's actually not moving.
That's never going to stop until the cars truly drive themselves, which unfortunately was something that was optimistic a couple years ago, and I think is extremely pessimistic now.
Agreed.
But it is technology that will be refined, and I think at an alarming rate. I think we'll get there, and that will alleviate certain itches in our life, things that are just a little irritable. It's not a major for me. I just laugh it off and keep moving.
Well, you are also an insurance salesman. I would say you don't want cars driving themselves because then nobody needs to buy insurance.
Well, I mean, there'll be other.
It would be the end of my industry.
There'll be other forms of.
And I'm still excited about it. That'd be great.
Yeah, there'll be other forms of value add that and risk that needs to be managed, and I think that's things evolve. I would say that if we only want to progress based on protection of ourselves and what we do, then it's going to inhibit progress. I think my sense is that we should go ahead, do what we need to do. And if I think about 20 years ago, what I was doing and where I was in life, in terms of what I considered to be value and respect and happiness, it's completely different from where I am now and how I consider.
I was at the lodge exactly 20 years ago.
20 years ago today?
Right now. 20 years ago, I was at the lodge. Just so everybody knows.
And the
where I
lodge
was.
is?
A bar that used to be open in downtown Orlando. And it's now closed. It was one of the greatest places on earth.
It was.
For a short period there.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, so let's move past the idea of insurance.
We talked about happiness with families, so then we touched on that there. Where were we
What do you got?
Well,
Tell me more.
You said we're here to reproduce. I have a problem with that.
Yeah, all right. Let's discuss.
Big time. So when you say we're here to reproduce, two things. First, that implies that we have a reason that we're here. When I think it's more, we discussed this last time, more of a complete and total accident. Obviously, what I'm arguing is the difference between causation and correlation. It's a correlation that we're here and that you would think it has to do because we are here to reproduce, but we're only here because two people reproduced. Otherwise, we wouldn't be here.
Maybe. I think there's I don't know if this. I think there's a possibility that we were seeded.
Okay.
Do you know the
I mean,
concept?
you human being Trevor. You were not seeded here by an alien. Your parents had sex and gave birth to you.
Okay.
So, and same with me.
Right.
So what I'm saying is that you, the human being, are here from we would not be here but for reproduction. So it's easy for you to correlate. We're here to reproduce. However, we are the only species we know of that has the ability to step aside and understand our position and think about our own death and come to grips with something that could provide you with a meaning other than just having children.
I think that's arguable. Like with we don't know how to communicate to. I'm gonna go fucking way off, man. Recently, AI interpreted whale talk. I think there's a distinct possibility that there are other species.
I mean, Star Trek did that
on
decades ago
on the face of this earth that we aren't necessarily in tune with, that may or may not be, like, we're looking down on.
I'm not discrediting the intelligence of whales, but a whale is not swimming around thinking, will I have more happiness derived from my life by watching this movie or eating this food or having children, or when will I retire? And
that's where I'm at, though, in happiness is, and by throwing out the idea of I just want to go to the woods, maybe we have created this idea, you said construct earlier. Maybe we've created this idea of construct of Taco Bell.
Yes, tell me more.
Uber. I'm actually really hungry right now.
Taco Bell's great.
McDonald's. You know, like we want to order these things. We have things that are immediate disposal. Maybe, you know, so I often, let me backtrack a little bit. Often I chat with my old man about dolphins. I think dolphins have it fucking right.
Okay.
They don't have a house. They can fucking eat fish whenever they want. There's gay dolphins. They theoretically, like, masturbate. There's no.
That's into life, baby. Just float around, masturbating and eating fish, bro.
Yeah. There's no.
Sure.
There's no currency.
I guess that's a frame of perspective.
They do drugs.
That's a frame of perspective, but that sounds like a terrible life.
They
to me.
They chomp on pufferfish and get high. Like, maybe we're missing the point on this deal.
I think that we are the most evolved my sense. And I think we have the greatest experience of all the beings out there. And I can't wait to continue to see the world evolve. My sense, we talk about Taco Bell and McDonald's, right? These are things that
You're talking about McDonald's. I was talking about Taco Bell.
Yeah, but these are things that didn't exist, 100 years ago, right?
Sure.
So there were times when you could eat, and there were times, you had to, you talk about going back to the primitive days, right? You ate what you killed, right? And those only happened at certain times of the day. And, you cooked it, and that was it, right? And so the rest of the time you were kind of in bed or whatever. So my sense is that the life that we living right now is pretty amazing. Just on the family aspect, though, is I think that the family is can either set you up for happiness or unhappiness, right? So I think a lot of people listening would say, family makes me unhappy. Or family makes me happy. So you think about Thanksgiving dinner, for example, right? It can be a nightmare, something you look forward to, or a mix. I think about the movie, what's the movie called? Scent of a Woman, where, Al Pacino goes to his brother's home and has the Thanksgiving dinner, right? And it was a, complete disaster for the family when he went there. So I think for me, it's all about expectations. You can either set yourself up with an expectation that is maybe too high, and then you let down, and then you're unhappy. Or you can have more realistic expectations, and you can't be let down. So to me, you can either set yourself up to be happy, to enjoy the experience, or you can set yourself up to be disappointed.
Aim low.
And not enjoy the experience. Well, I don't think you're necessarily aiming at high or low. You're just trying to say, for example, when you have a conversation with your dad, right? If you have an expectation as to how the conversation is going to go,
sure,
right? You're now setting yourself up. And if you choose to just have a conversation without any expectation and let it take its natural course, you could find yourself having the most enjoyable, pleasant, fun conversation.
Well, that's what we're doing here. I have zero expectations of hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
I mean, I
and
love
that's why it's so
out
fun.
With you guys.
I like to party.
Yeah, I like to party too. Speaking of partying.
Yeah.
So,
you want to transition?
Yeah. Yes, please.
Like Bruce Jenner?
He's a bro. Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
All right. So happiness. For me the verdict is still out.
So the thing that we love, the four of us love doing is a happy hour, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Now it's a funny thing, but the mere name.
I know. Hour, I knew you were going to say this. You're going to say every hour's happy, aren't you?
No, I'm not. I'm saying that if we said
I could feel it from a mile away.
When we're done with this podcast, and if we go out for a drink, right,
it's going to be a happy hour.
And if it's not a happy hour, you don't set yourself up for any expectation, right? You just go out there and you go for a drink, as we would now. It won't be a happy hour. It'll just be we're going for a drink, right? But when you go for a happy hour, right? You kind of you have this expectation. It's supposed to be something. And my sense is that I can honestly say I've never gone to a happy hour that was not happy.
You're putting the cart before the horse. You're suggesting that the term happy hour comes from the patrons who think that they're going to be happy when they go there. The term happy hour comes from the bar owners trying to use a word that's going to suggest that you get to escape the misery of your daily life for 1 hour.
Yes.
That's what they're trying to claim.
They create an expectation.
Yes. So it's not people's, oh man, I'm going to be so, it's the bar of going, I'm going to exploit the misery.
Yeah, but you go there feeling happy. That's what I'm saying. You're going to the happy hour
But you're not going there to be happy. You're leaving whatever misery you were in is what's providing your happiness. It's the same alcohol and the same people and the same place. What it is your escape from the total misery of daily existence that's giving you the happiness.
Yeah, I must tell you that when I'm leaving the office, though, I'm going from one level of happiness. I recalibrate, and it's going to be another level of happiness.
Dude.
A higher level of happiness.
Well, it's just another level. It could be high, though, it doesn't matter. But it's different experience. But it's happy all the way. But I must tell you, if we're thinking about happy, hours, we did did we do a happy hour this week?
We did one yesterday.
We did one every day.
I guess you're right. I guess
I'm pretty sure.
Kinda,
Other than Monday, I'm pretty sure we did.
we
a happy
did
hour.
Tuesday, Wednesday,
every day this
Thursday.
week.
Today,
cheers.
I mean, along with PR's unabashed positivity, I consider this a very happy hour.
So do we? So the happy hour? Do we? Yeah, we did too many happy hours this week.
There's no such thing as too many.
Yeah, come on.
Did we have something that stood out though in the happy hour week? I have to say that.
Well, so we worked really hard on Winter Park, Florida Autumn Art Festival entertainment. So in October there will be a art festival in downtown Winter Park where we're deciding what bands should show up and hang out, and that was very enjoyable for me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a fantastic time.
Yeah.
I thought yesterday was great.
And we had some beverages, and
We did, and again, it resulted in only a level 2 hangover. So when you can go out and have fun, and the next day is not that affected.
perfect.
Yeah.
And what was interesting about the third happy hour that we did at, the third happy hour in one day.
In the one happy.
I think we're kind of proving your point that every hour is a happy hour, because every hour we seem to be at a happy hour.
What was crazy is that I met this guy from Ireland, from Dublin, Brian. Brian was his name, Nick. Brian?
Are you talking? You're not talking about the owner?
No, the guy that was sitting with us at Fid's.
missing a tooth.
No, the guy that was the Irish guy.
Dude, it's an Irish pub. A lot of them are
There's
Irish.
a lot of Irish guys over there.
I don't remember which one's named Brian. The owner is Donald, and I don't think that's who you're talking about.
And we love Fiddler's Green.
Fiddler's,
is fantastic.
We will always pitch Fiddler's Green
the-
happy hour.
Yes.
So
At every
so I
hour.
met the guy, and his brother is a doctor in Dublin, in the same city that my uncle is in, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna exchange names and find out that they actually know each other, which is pretty
cool.
amazing.
Pretty cool.
That's happiness.
That's happiness.
Yeah,
Happiness.
brilliant. And I must second and third that the Fiddler's Happy Hour is outstanding.
Yes, so we hit Park Avenue Tavern, the usual haunts. We did Park Avenue Tavern Fiddlers yesterday with a stop at
Vinya,
Vinya.
little Vinya.
Vinya action. Wednesday night, of course, always trivia at Fiddler's Green, 7 to 9, at right there at the awkward intersection of Fairbanks and Orange Avenue in downtown Winter Park. Come out and party with us there. Also 12 to 2 on Sundays with Jordan, but that show's not as good as my show.
That's fucked up.
I mean, it's still a happy 2 hours, but just not as happy.
Right.
I'd say.
Well, I mean, most people are hungover.
I'm joking. He brings the
they're
heat.
at like a level 7 on
He brings the heat.
Sunday morning
Jordan's great.
because of Saturday night.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So, I mean, I thought it was a great week of partying. I'm actually forgetting Tuesday. What do we do Tuesday?
I'd have to go to my calendar.
Yeah, I know. I can't remember. I know we did something.
Was that the poetry night?
It was.
It was. That's what it was.
We
How
went
are
to
we missing this?
Banging
Let's
Olufsen.
talk about it.
Slam poetry. Holy shit.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was rad. John Studdy was my highlight with Passenger 12B.
Is that the guy that walked in with the coat? And
Yeah,
the
that I thought was
shoes
Marshawn
and-
Lynch when he walked in.
Yeah.
Yeah. His poem was fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, they were all good, but I was like, wow, this guy is a master of his craft.
Yes.
Yes.
He walked in and walked out.
Yeah. He walked in,
kind of with his dick on the ground.
swagger,
like,
yeah.
Hey,
Swagoo.
I'm
what-
doing this.
What is that called? The B&O, is that a poetry evening?
So they have taken over poetry evening. Diverse Minds. Is that
Yeah,
the name of it?
I don't. We'll have to look that up.
Yeah, I can't remember. I can't recall the name, but I think they're doing that a couple times a week at B&O there in downtown Winter Park. But that was a great episode.
Yeah,
I liked it.
We'll have to tune in. We'll let everybody know the nights they're doing it. I hear it's twice a month, but
Yeah.
it was their first. It was their
And then moving on to coming attractions, I guess.
Okay.
Tomorrow we will be doing Fringe Festival.
Fringe. Oh my.
The show I'm excited about is hosted by a couple really good friends of mine, Hani, who works with the Downtown Orlando Creative, and then Danielle Zeiss. They are doing Love Crumbs is their show. I've been to their shows the previous years. They're phenomenal. So I'm excited for that one, to hit up Fringe and probably another show or two before heading off to do my Predators play-by-play broadcasting gig.
Super excited for Predators.
Yeah, you guys are coming,
yeah.
right? And then we'll be partying on Mills afterwards.
Absolutely.
Which, not to give another shout out, but if chances are, if you guys want to hang out with us, you can go to Conrad's Shanty at some point and look around, and you can't miss us.
Love the shanty.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you going? PR?
Well,
or
I kind of am. I'm going by default, right? So,
yeah.
Gonna have to be there.
There you go. Come on, let's party. Any tickets you need, man. We'll party. Definitely hit up the Preds.
Right.
So that's my coming attractions. We got another couple episodes to tape in the next couple of days.
We do.
All right.
So we'll close the lid on this.
You want to bring us out? You want to take us out?
Yeah, let's do that.
My man.
We'll close the lid on this.
I love you guys.
I love you too. I'll see you in heaven.
Okay.
Wait, what was your
Sure.
sign off? What was your sign off last week?
Oh, I'll see you in the promised land.
I'll see you in the promised land. That's where I was going. Thank you for listening.
It's a big difference. Just to
Heaven and promised land.
not cut it open, but
Jeez, I'm crow. Please hit like and subscribe. Send us questions and comments. Or just to say hi. We love hearing from our fellow adventurers. Check us out on all of our social media. Bye for now, and we'll catch you on the next wild ride.